You know, when you think of a millionaire, what comes to mind? Probably a flashy car, a huge house, right? Well, what if I told you that for the truly wealthy, the biggest signs are almost invisible? Yeah, this idea right here really flips the script. It basically says that the folks who look rich and the ones who are rich, well, they're often not the same people at all. So that begs the question, right? If it's not the fancy stuff, what does real wealth actually look like? That's what we're going to dig into. The real subtle clues that separate lasting wealth from just, looking the part. All right, let's get into our first section, the Camry in the parking lot. This really gets at the heart of the puzzle, the difference between performing wealth and actually having it. And it all starts with a story that honestly, you've probably seen play out right in front of you. Okay, picture this. You see your coworker's car every day. It's an old, kind of beat-up Camry. You'd probably think, man, he must be struggling a bit. It's an easy assumption to make, right? But it's also completely wrong. Because here's the kicker. That same guy, he has a net worth of $4.7 million, mostly in index funds, and his house is completely paid off. His investments alone cover his entire lifestyle. Suddenly, that Camry doesn't look like a sign of struggle, does it? It looks like a strategy. And that strategy all comes down to the next big clue, thinking about money in a totally different way. See, it's not just about the numbers in the account. It's about the mindset, the psychology behind it. And this right here is the absolute core of it. For most of us, money is emotional, right? It's tied to our ego, our stress, our status. But for the secretly wealthy, it's just data. They strip the emotion out completely. It's not a source of pride or shame, it's just a tool, like numbers on a spreadsheet used to solve problems and prioritize what matters. And when you see money as just data, your behavior changes. You stop performing. You don't feel the need to drop how much you make into conversation or talk about what your watch costs. Why would you? It's just information. Your wealth doesn't need an audience to be real. Okay, so if they're not performing, where does the money go? This next section is all about that, and it brings us full circle, right back to that Camry in the parking lot. They get one simple, brutal truth: depreciation. A new car is basically a wealth-shredding machine. You can lose, 30% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. That isn't just a cost of ownership, it's what you could call the looks-rich tax, and it's a tax they refuse to pay. And think about the opportunity cost here. That's $600 a month for a car payment. If you invested that instead, over 30 years, it could grow to almost $1 million. So they're not just saving a few $100, they're choosing a potential fortune over a shiny new car. So instead of spending on visible, flashy stuff, their money goes to invisible, almost boring things. But these boring things are powerful. We're talking about a great accountant who finds savings, top-notch insurance that protects everything they've built, high-quality tools that last a lifetime. It's functional spending, not performative spending. All right, so if that mindset is the steering wheel, this next part is the engine. We're talking about the discipline of accumulation, the actual day-in, day-out habits that build and protect their wealth. You know what happens when most people get a raise? They get a nicer car, a bigger apartment. Their lifestyle inflates right along with their income. But one of the most powerful things the wealthy do is nothing. They get a raise and their lifestyle stays the same. That entire difference, that whole surplus, gets invested and starts working for them. They're also masters of defeating the impulse buy. They use these simple little tricks, these waiting periods. For a small purchase, they'll wait a day. For something bigger, maybe a week or a month. It's brilliant because it lets that initial "I want it now" feeling fade, and they can see if it's something they actually need or just a passing whim. And you really see this discipline shine when the market tanks. When everyone else is panicking, selling everything at a loss, what do? They see a discount. They see a fire sale. They know that historically, every single market crash has been a massive buying opportunity for those who have the cash and the nerve to act. Okay, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this might be the most important one. It's the master key that makes everything else we've talked about possible. It's all about achieving freedom from comparison. Think about it. The entire consumer economy, pretty much all of advertising, is built on one simple idea: keeping up with the Joneses. It's a powerful psychological trap designed to make you feel like you're falling behind, so you'll spend money to catch up. And the secretly wealthy get this on a gut level. It's a simple trade-off. Money you spend to look rich is money that isn't compounding to make you actually rich. You have to choose. You can look the part, or you can build real freedom. It's almost impossible to do both. So how do they beat this game? They just stop playing. They consciously decide what a rich life means to them. Maybe it's freedom or time with family or security. Once they have their own definition, their neighbor's new Tesla is just a car. It has no power over them. And that brings us right back to the guy with the Camry. Now it all makes sense, doesn't it? That car isn't a sign he's broke. It's a symbol. It's a sign that he knows money is data, that depreciating assets are a trap, and that what other people think, well, it just doesn't matter. So this whole thing leaves us with one last really powerful question to think about, because what it all suggests is that the first step to building real wealth has nothing to do with your bank account. It's all in your head. It starts the second you stop looking at what everyone else is doing and decide to run your own race.